I had a teenage girl come in and her horse was on its way out. The vets couldn't find anything wrong with it. Hadn't been eating for about a week or two. They didn't give it many days to live. We did a session, and like I said, I say yes to people. I don't know how things work. Like, I think we're all kind of connected. So for me, the idea of being able to work with animals is not a far-fetched thing, but I still can't tell people how it works, or anything like that. But I just say to people, look, we can give it a go. Worst case is, like I said, nothing happens. You're just going to feel good yourself, being the one that was in the chair. So in the session, I usually don't ask to go back to events when it's in surrogacy if the event doesn't belong to the person. But I just said, oh, okay, go back to the first time. And she ended up being this horse with flies landing on, getting quite frustrated. And the horse accidentally stepped on a little girl's foot, and the mum came and took the girl away and screamed at this horse. It wasn't anything to do with, she hadn't had this horse for long, but it was an experience of quite a lot younger. And this horse got a massive, didn't know what it had done wrong, got a massive fright. So we were going back to like an ISE of an initial human fright. Yeah. And so that was, so that of course we did what we needed to do. It sounds really funny when you're working on an animal, but after that session, I got a text the next day that the horse just ate. It just ate, and within 2 weeks they were back on. And we're talking about a horse that had been, they were doing all this tests on it. They didn't think it had long to go. So I've had lots of freaky things happen with horses. We had another one where my horse was having something wrong with it. So we did a little SP session and a training on the horse. But prior to that, a week before, it had had a little surgery on its leg, and no one knew that. And this girl, who is quite analytical, so she is quite, she does question everything. And I love it when people that question everything and don't believe things straight away have experiences. To me, that's the coolest, because to me, it really validates that it's not made up. She opened her eyes and said, the horse wants you to know to never, ever do a surgery on its leg again. It didn't like it. And I was like, what? They didn't know that it had it. So all through the session, I was getting it to work on something to do with what was wrong with it now. And she was working on the leg thing because it was quite pissed off that it had to have an operation on its leg. So for me, that was another thing that I had to laugh about, because like I said, she didn't know that. No one knew that had happened. But yeah, the horse had a little conversation with her and wanted it passed on to me. So in the paddock, I passed it on to my daughter just to go up and pat the horse and say, don't worry, the vet's not going to be coming out again. So when you have things like that happen, because it's
horses are phenomenal. I know someone who worked on a horse that was with very bad mange and all really bad skin, and it had cancer, I think, too. So anyway, within 3 weeks, that horse was jumping and cooling around, and its skin was growing back. I mean, it's
amazing.
And because animals are really easier for us to work on because they don't have the frontal lobe.